I am so pleased to introduce you to one of our favorite young and up-and-coming developers. This is Akhilesh Thite. T-Day. It looks like Thite, but T-Day. Akhilesh T-Day. He calls himself a P2P hacker, but he is also working on his master's degree in computer science at UC Santa Cruz. We first met Akhilesh because he was a global fellow at DWeb Camp in 2023 from Mumbai, India. But since then, Akhilesh has gone on to work on so many good projects. He's a contributor to Distributed Press, which uses Hypercore and IPFS to distribute websites, including ours, across the web. So when you go to that, if you go to the URL that's on the little sticker, it takes you to getdweb.net, but it's really being distributed through Distributed Press across Hypercore and IPFS. So it is a decentralized website. He also contributes to Identikey, that's Duke's project you just heard about, and to Chelonia. I mean, the man is very busy. I don't know how he's getting his master's. And on top of that, he has his own project. Because he said it's ludicrous, right, that we have all of these decentralized things like IPFS, but you can only get to it through an HTTP browser, right? You're going through Google or you're going through, you name it, browser to get to these decentralized things. So Akhilesh is building the first decentralized browser, the native decentralized browser, Pure Sky, and he's going to tell you about bridging from today's world to the decentralized world. Thank you, Akhilesh.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Hey everyone, I'm Akhilesh. So as you can see in the window, Distributed Press recently published DWeb's official website to IPFS and Hypercore, which means you can, just like HTTP, getdweb.net, you can access it via IPNS, getdweb.net, or hyper getdweb.net. But the browser you're using right now can only access it via HTTP gateway. This is Chrome, by the way. I'm not against any HTTP gateways. They are very useful, like trustless gateways. They allow browsers to fetch and verify IPFS content. The service worker gateways, they enable offline access via caching. But the main concern is, P2P protocols like IPFS building tech around HTTP gateways. Why this? Because IPFS is mostly used by blockchains, and you need fast data retrieval in blockchains. So on other hand, peer-to-peer protocols that are not based on blockchains, like old school BitTorrent or Hypercore, which was formerly DAT, they are true at core. They are peer-to-peer. I love IPFS. I hope it gets better, but because of these things, the content discovery is slow, and because of dependence on HTTP gateway, it's becoming less decentralized and more like cloud. Let's talk about browsers. This is a meme. So the current problems with browsers, they are running after profits, and they're making AI-first interfaces. For example, Brave deprecated IPFS node support last year, and Firefox introduced ad preferences. And this is the trend of AI browsers. Play some weird music on startup and show this sign-up screen. I mean, this is surveillance at peak. There were some great attempts, like Beaker was a very famous peer-to-peer web browser back in the days. It was developed by Paul, but it died. Paul is now working on Blue Sky. The most active peer-to-peer web browser is Agrigor. So like HTTP fetch, you can use IPFS or hypercore fetch in Agrigor browser. It's developed by RangerMo. We worked on distributed press, and we are always collaborating on projects. We need P2P web browsers and platforms. So in 2023, at DWeb Camp, I started working on PeerSky. So my goal with PeerSky is to make a user-friendly peer-to-peer web browser. Like I really want to make P2P mainstream. So we run local IPFS and hypercore nodes in web browser. So you can access and publish content to P2P protocols. We have local first apps which you can use it offline. So for example, we have this P2P editor. You can make static websites and publish it to P2P protocols. We have a file upload for file sharing. We have HyperChat for peer-to-peer communication. So my next goal with this is to add encryption and make it offline synchronous with technology like MDNS, which is inbuilt in HyperCore. And this is IPFS Wikipedia search. So you can search Wikipedia articles on IPFS. And we also support native ENS. It's one of the first browsers supporting native ENS. So it can resolve .eth domains, for example, IPNS, vitalik.eth, instead of some HTTP gateway. And Plan 1. So what is Plan 1? Plan 1 is a minimal kernel which offers custom elements to build static apps, which is super lightweight, and which is developed by Tyler Childs, who is also giving a workshop in Breakout Room 1 on Memex. And we also support cross-browser theme protocols. So yeah, you can load stuff. You can load the same website, but it will look different because of our cross-browser themes. You can use it as a normal browser. We have 7 different themes. You can customize your browser. By default, we have DuckDuckGo search engine and Ecosia, which plant trees based on your search index. We also support bookmarks. We also have tab grouping. And we are relying on web extensions. We are not like adding native support for like ad blocker or tracking. So this is the web extension management UI. It would be really cool to have add to PeerSky on Chrome Web Store, but this is the best way right now. So these are the pre-installed extensions I'll be having for cookies, translation, archive, and stuff. I'll be releasing this web extension support like at the end of this month. What's next? There are so many cool things. I'll be working on decentralized extension distribution so that users can make and publish web extensions to P2P protocols. And we'll be having a standard, and of course it will be Manifest and Chromium, but there won't be any Chrome Web Store. It will be completely peer-to-peer. And new protocols. So X402 is developed by Coinbase for web native payments, and they're utilizing HTTP 402 API. of course, BitTorrent and Valid. So Valid is a new protocol. Think of it like a combination of Tor and IPFS. It's pretty good for IP privacy. And I'm going to be using some cool Docker tools for local LLMs. So yeah, I'm super excited for the development. PeerSky is under beta 10, and I think it's gonna take one more year for the stable release. Yeah. So these are our supporters. I'm super grateful. We got like 3 contributors right now. We're incredibly great, working on great features. And lastly, I want to talk about distributed press. So I think of distributed press as UX for DWeb publishing. So we don't publish your website, that's IPFS and Hypercore protocol, through our API. We do not monetize for you. That's your wallet through uncensorable donation pages. We do not advertise for you. That's ActivityPub protocol through our social inbox API and social reader client. The only thing we do is we're pinning your content, which we want to push it towards pinning services like Pinata and Storja. And if you want to P2Pify your website, you can just go to Distributed Press and get started. That's it. I mean, try PSK and let me know. Thank you so much. Any questions? Yeah.
Yeah. If you have a extension library that's completely decentralized, how do you ensure that people aren't downloading extensions that are injecting code, malicious code?
Yeah, we are taking care of that. We have security stuff, security scripts, like all Chromium based. So
you're saying that when someone publishes something, you have a script that can make sure that there's absolutely nothing malicious?
And it's all Chromium. So it will be using manifest version and all the Chromium APIs. So it won't be anything like from scratch. Yeah. Yep.
So first of all, thank you for working on this. Building browsers is a monumental task. I'm wondering, have you found partnerships within the space? Like, so for instance, I don't know too much about the development of Brave, but it seems like they're one of the teams that's trying to, and also, I don't want to say, take the power from Chromium. It's not so much that, but it's more like the amount of effort you're willing to put towards a project determines how much do you control, essentially, right? Right now, most of Chromium is done by Google developers, and so therefore they de facto control it. Are there kind of partnerships in the space where the various teams can join forces so you guys have essentially more development power to be able to leverage?
So there are some pretty good projects like Tori, which is built on Rust, but it's pretty new and their protocol handling stuff is not that great. Electron is. I'm absolutely down to work with Rust and Tori, but it's pretty experimental right now.
I'm curious, specifically with the folks at Brave, do you guys have a relationship or have you talked to them?
No.
Yeah, I was curious about that too, because you mentioned you were working with DuckDuckGo, but I thought Brave they recently acquired, not long ago, acquired an independent search indexing engine.
Yeah, that's so like tying up with these organizations is good. Like search engines, for example, it's great for like productization, like tying up with VPNs, for example, instead of like making something profitable.
Part of the reason I bring it up is if I think about projects that are long running, there are very few pieces of software that we continue. Oh, thank you. That we continue to use to this day. Like browsers are one of them. There's a few others, right? There's, I guess, like Linux to some extent, Emacs, right? But if I think about these projects, the reason they're so long running is it's a big community, right? Like the reason people use Emacs is not because it's blazing fast. Like frankly, there are a lot of things in there that should be fixed. But the fact that so many developers work on it, that's what makes it valuable. And to some extent, you know, Microsoft has realized this. Hence, VS Code basically puts everyone on the plantation and forces, like, you know, open source developers to generate value for them. So I'm wondering, with the browser space, it feels like all of these teams, even if I think about Brave, it's like a proper company. It's tiny. They don't really have that many people. So I guess I just kind of wonder, is it possible for people to join forces so that they can actually, now that Chromium has basically taken over the browser space, they can actually wield enough like power, like developer power, to be able to move the needle?
Definitely. I mean, it's open source, so we should get a lot of traction in the DWeb space.
So yeah, just saw the protocols. Do you have plans for any other protocols? And what do you use AT Proto for built in? Like, what's the use cases that AT Proto is for in PeerSky?
Ad protocol?
Yeah.
I'm not, we don't have ad protocol yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was on your list.
Yeah, it is on my list, yeah, to resolve the blue sky names. Yeah.
Oh,
that
okay.
would
So
be
you
great.
have name resolution in App Proto built in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and do you have any other like peer-to-peer style protocols that are on your list to integrate? Like where's your roadmap kind of going?
Right now, BitTorrent, Valid, X402 for web payments, and maybe SSB is also good. I was thinking about Tor, but it's too slow, and you have to manage a lot of stuff like disabling JavaScript, and you have to have VPN if you're using Tor. So yeah.
Yeah. There's Andreas from Peer2Panda is here, and he's got some really cool things he's very knowledgeable in the space. There's a bunch of people who
Yeah,
should probably
definitely.
talk to. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you thought about allowing a decentralized layer above the content?
Like, for example?
For example, you're enabling people to create websites that are stored on a peer-to-peer basis, correct?
Yeah.
What about allowing other people to come and actually comment on them, add additional information on them?
Yeah, definitely. So at Distributed Press, we have this social inbox API. So you can turn your website into a social profile and get comments from the Fediverse. So that's really cool.
So it'll be kind of like a sidebar on the side of the
Yeah.
site?
Yeah.
Cool. And is there a functional prototype that we?
Yeah, there is a Sati CMS, which offers like no-code UI tool to publish websites and get all the traction from Fediverse. You can also directly use our API and build website. You can add your own UI, whatever.
Nice.
Anyone else?
All right. Thanks.